You cannot have a healthy relationship with a narcissist. Get in here, because we're going to have a quick conversation about a question that constantly comes in, which is, how do I have a healthy relationship with my narcissist spouse, son, daughter, parent, friend, whoever it may be? How do I make it better? How do I fix them? You can't. And I'm going to explain why in this video. And for many of you all, this is going to free you. For those of y'all who don't know me, my name is Malcolm MJ Harris, and I'm the best-selling author of the book, Get Out of Your Own Way, a guide to letting go of the stuff that's holding you back. It's available everywhere, and the link is directly above and below this video. And what I teach people is about how do they get out of their own way so that they can start having a healthy life, because we cannot fix everyone. And a narcissist is at the top of the list of people we cannot fix and we cannot change. They don't even know how to fix or change themselves. The first thing we have to understand about a narcissist to help us fully understand why we are truly powerless to be able to have a healthy relationship with them is we first of all have to understand that they lack the capacity to have any level of remorse, empathy, or taking responsibility for who they are. When you're dealing with a narcissist, you know as well as I do that to try to get them to take responsibility and acknowledge their wrongdoing, or for that matter, just how they've impacted you or anyone else negatively, is literally like pulling teeth. They don't do it. They will try to turn it around on you, where if you say, hey, you affect me in this way, well, you affected me in this way. They try to flip it on you. Or what do? When you try to confront them about something, they become extremely dismissive, like acting like what you're saying doesn't exist. They may even respond to you with complete silence. Or for that matter, they may go to the other extreme of becoming extremely combative. Some of them even become violent. And with that kind of person, they are not capable of changing because they literally see no wrong in what they're doing. What we can often do when we're dealing with the narcissist is we think that, oh, this person is just being stubborn. They just are refusing to take responsibility or refusing it to see it from our side, even though it's like, come on, this is kind of obvious. You did me wrong. They're not refusing to see anything. They're not capable of seeing it. Take this in when I tell you this. They are not capable of seeing their wrong. So if they're not capable of seeing their wrong, then what makes you think that this person can ever change? I need you to understand this, that for a narcissist or anyone else with a personality disorder, you've got borderline personality disorder, you've got sociopathic personality disorder, the list goes on. For people with these types of personality disorders, this is considered almost like a mental illness from the perspective that this is something that they really have very little control over. And we have to have compassion with them for that, okay? We have to recognize that this person isn't choosing to be this way. They are frankly incapable of being any other way. But even with that compassion, we have to have very strong boundaries for ourselves, because this person is literally like an emotional porcupine. If you get close enough to them, you will get hurt. You will get stuck. So even with all your compassion, you have to have enough boundaries with them that keep them at a farther enough distance from you so that they can't poke you, so that they can't hurt you, so that they can't cross your boundaries. So what does that mean? That means that you're probably not going to be able to have an intimate relationship with this person. This is not the person you need to be confiding in. First of all, because narcissists will often use the information you share with them during the most intimate times. They'll use that against you at a later point in time to hurt you. So this is not the person you should be confiding in at all. This is not the person that you should be inviting around other people that you're very close to. Why? Because narcissists also have a history of when they get upset with you, they may try to turn other people against you. They're very, very manipulative. So this is not a person you should be bringing around other people who are close to you. This is also not a person that you should be trying to build deep, intimate bonds with. So this, frankly, is not someone that you should probably try to be in an intimate relationship with. I would not try to marry someone like this. If it is a family member, such as one of your children, a parent, or anything else like that, you're probably going to need to go through the process of accepting that this person's not healthy enough to be in a close relationship with you. And you're going to have to grieve the fact that the relationship that you wanted with them cannot exist. It just cannot exist. Not at this point in time. It cannot. And you're going to have to treat this person based on their behavior and not based on their title. What do I mean by that? By saying, oh, well, this is my mom, this is my son, this is my daughter, this is my cousin. I want to treat them in a certain kind of way. No. They're not your mom. They're not your dad. They're not your son. They're not your daughter. They're not your sister or your brother. This is a man. This is a woman who's treating you without compassion. This is a man. This is a woman who's treating you as if they're using you. This is a man, this is a woman who is purposely and maliciously saying things to hurt you. Because narcissists can be sadistic, which means that they will do things for the pure pleasure of hurting you because they seek power in that. And when you can say that this is just a man or a woman who's doing things that hurts me, then you're able to treat them as if they're any other man or woman out there who would do the same thing. You have to stop giving narcissists passes on their poor behavior simply because they hold a certain title in your life. The title means nothing if this person's unhealthy for you. So some of the strategies that I would recommend, and I teach about this in my book on how to deal with narcissists, how to set boundaries, is that one of the first strategies I recommend is you have got to be very clear about what is your playbook. And what I mean by your playbook is this: what does it require for people to do, or for that matter, not do, if you're going to allow them within your life? Do you need to be treated with respect? Do you need people to listen to you when you talk? Do you need people to not try to criticize you and make fun of you or minimize you or dismiss you when you express your feelings? Do you need people not to be having temper tantrums and going off on you just because you said something they don't like? Do you need people to apologize when they're wrong and take responsibility? What are the requirements of what you need in order to be in healthy relationships? Now understand this: whatever you require of other people, you need to also be willing to do the same thing. But be clear about what is your playbook. What are the requirements that people need to do in order to be in your life? And then once you become clear about that, what you then need to do is be honest with yourself about, does this person, who I believe to be a narcissist, does this person do those things for me? If the answer is no, then you're going to have to practice what I call radical acceptance. Radical acceptance is accepting something that doesn't feel good to accept, but it's going to free you to accept it. It's going to be painful to accept this. You're going to have to accept that this person is not healthy enough to be in your life, and then set clear boundaries so that they cannot get access. Narcissists are very good at, when they recognize that they have less access to you, they will either give you the silent treatment and do different things like that so they can try to pull you back in and feel like you're wrong, so you'll start apologizing to them. Or what they'll do if that doesn't work is they will eventually start trying to play nice, acting like they've learned all the lessons, acting like they're compassionate, acting like they're going to change. They will act like that so they can pull you right back in. And then the minute you get close enough to them and let your guard down, they're back to being the same person. So what you have to do is you have to practice radical acceptance by accepting that this person has had many opportunities to change in the past. You've had multiple dust-ups with them. They've seen how they've hurt you in the past. In some cases, they've even apologized, and I do that with air quotes because narcissists are rarely ever truly sorry. They just fake an apology in order to pull you back in. So they've apologized multiple times, but have you seen changes? If the answer is no, then you have to accept that this person is exactly what you're seeing. Okay? They're not their potential. They're not what you hope they'll be. They're not the version of themselves that they were when they first met you and they were love bombing you to pull you in. They are exactly who you're seeing and what you're experiencing in the most painful moments, and you have to set a boundary. And some of those boundaries may mean that you got to mute their contact in your phone so that if they try to reach you, you're not going to know they tried to reach you. Some of that means you may have to go no contact with them. For family members, it may mean that you're not going to come to some of the family events that they're at. Why? Because you need a good amount of time to create enough distance with that person that you're able to detach from them. It doesn't mean that you don't love them, but it means you need to be able to detach to them to the point where whatever they do or attempt to do no longer has any power or influence over you. You hear me when I say this? You need to get to that point where you can be strong enough to be around them and not get sucked into their mess. Be strong enough to be around them and not get sucked into their trying to create arguments with you. To be strong enough to be around them and not get sucked into their love bombings and fake apologies. Narcissists don't change. So you have to change if you're going to protect yourself from them. As I mentioned, my book is available everywhere. All you have to do is go to the link that's directly above or below this video right now and get my book, Get Out of Your Own Way, a guide to letting go of the stuff that's holding you back. Until next time, baby, protect your heart, because the narcissist out there will hurt your heart.